I couldn't find a plain background, so I just decided.
No, these are good. All good. The standard Zoom templates, right?
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Good. So I think you're spot on time. So perfect. I think we'll just get started. Aman, let me know if you're good to start. If
Yes,
you are,
actually, just before introduction, first of all, hi Prashant, welcome to the session. Thank you
Thank you.
for joining us. I'm sure everyone is very excited to know how's the Outscal experience and industry experiences.
Sure.
Just before we move on, I wanted to do a quick poll with everyone. Just wanted to know who all are here, who joined us on day one, and who all are new visitors. So, guys, if you can quickly just
yep,
click on this poll, and we'll move once we have substantial number of answers.
perfect. Prashant, I think you can skip the poll.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So you can see that the large share of audience is still about to vote. About 80% of the people have already participated. Right,
Great.
awesome.
I think,
Great.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
enough. Good to know.
good. Okay, so it looks like about 92% of the folks have attended yesterday. So that's really great to see. Hopefully, you guys have context. But all right, let's dive in. So, welcome everybody to day two of Outscale's 7-day game development masterclass for Clan 16. Just a quick introduction. My name is Mayank. I'm the founder of Outscale. I've been in the game industry for close to 10 years and have been working with companies like EA and Dana in US and companies like Jungle Games. Did my 2-3 startups before this in the game development space, miserably failed, and then helped a lot of other startups build the right kind of games, etc. as well. So I've had a fair share of experience working with startups from literally every corner of every continent except Antarctica. And have had a lot of exposure in the last 2 to 3 years. I've been building Outscale as an education platform where we have brought together a lot of professional mentors to help people build the right skills as well. And today I have Prashant with us. Prashant is one of our alumni who's graduated some time back and now is successfully working as a game developer in the industry. And today we'll be sort of getting to learn a little bit more about Prashant's journey, his learning experiences, the goods and the bads, hopefully the both, and sort of get his word of advice to folks who are looking to join in the industry as well. So welcome, Prashant, and good to have you. Any sort of opening words you want to share with us?
Yeah. So hi everyone. I'm Prashant. I'm from Mumbai. I recently joined a game development company through Outscale, and I've been with Outscale for almost a year now. And the people here are amazing, very helpful people. There's no way you'll never be helped in any sort of way. So that's
Perfect.
all.
Thank you so much. Thanks. And that means a lot. So cool. Awesome. So Prashant, why don't you give us a little bit of a background in terms of what kind of what got you started into game development? Why
All
did
right.
you choose this field?
Yeah, so I graduated from computer engineering in 2018, and I've been working in a software development, your typical generic IT company for about 2 years. When I decided that I want to start getting into game development, because honestly, the kind of job that I was doing, it just didn't cut out for me. Like I never thought I'd be doing that kind of job, and it wasn't for me. And I had tried my hand in game development when I was in engineering, but then because of the college assignments, placements, and all, it just got lost in translation. So then I just decided to give it a shot. I also had a friend already who was into game development, Manas from Clan 8.
Yeah.
So he's a very good friend of mine. So I got to know about Outscale through him. So he decided he asked me to enroll here and give the entry test and all. So I did. I mean, I did it on a whim. I wasn't sure what I was doing then, but eventually I just decided, yeah, sure. I definitely want to get into game development. So yeah, that's how basically my journey started. It was just like a decision at that instant day that I just want to get into game development. That's all, because I don't
Mhm.
want to do this job for the 5 years from now, I don't want to see myself doing some fucking TIBCO middleware bullshit. I just wasn't me.
Perfect. Yeah, I totally get that feeling. So just some context. So Prashant mentioned his friend Joy. Joy is also actually an alumni who
sorry, it
graduated.
wasn't Joy, it was
Sorry,
Manas.
Joy, Manas. Joy and Manas were both from the same cohort. So Manas also recommended Prashant to join in because I think Manas was already graduating. Wait, Prashant, I think your video got cut out.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So, I was just giving some background context that Manas also was another alumni.
Yeah.
And Prashant got recommended through Manas, and Manas is also now working. I hosted Manas in the previous clan kickoff call, so or the one before it, and then it kind of like is full circle that now you're here as well. So awesome. Cool. So, tell us a little bit about the overall, the company that you're working with, what kind of process that you went through as part of your interview process, not just with just this company, because you interviewed with a lot of different companies at different stages, got different job offers, etc. Right? So just give us an overview of what was your overall experience interviewing with different game companies and any sort of recipes for success.
So like a game development game company interview is definitely different than any typical IT company interview you'll go through, because first of all, they most of the game companies, what they ask you to do is they ask you to work on a simple project. So they'll ask you to make a Subway Surfer game or any simple kind of game, and then once you submit that game, based on how you have performed, based on the structure of your code, based on what kind of algorithms or whatever you have used, depending on that, you might get an interview or you might not, based on how good your code is. I've been rejected like by 2 or 3 companies because of after I've submitted my code, because it was subpar and I can see it, like you could see it easily. But yeah, like when I started giving interviews, so I think Mayank was the first one who gave my resume to a company. Zanser only, Manas's company. And then I asked him whether should I, like, I was very relatively new to game development and I had little to no idea about most of the concepts. But then he's like, I still asked Mayank whether I should be going for the interview or not. So this is for the people who are like recently joined. I got this question a lot in the coaching session, that since I don't have any knowledge in game development, should I still be going for the interviews? So I am just going to repeat what Mayank said to me, that just go for the interview. The worst case is they'll say no, but you'll get an idea of what an interview is for a game development company. So yeah, so I've been rejected like 6-7 times. So there's no shame in being rejected. It's just gonna help you in the long run. No, there's no other downside to it.
Yep, no, I think it's all part of the learning process. And now you mentioned it, I recalled the conversation when Zanser is where Manas is working now, and we have now a couple of other alumni as well who are working with Zanser, some in full-time capacity and some in part-time capacity. So they reached out again, and I think Prashant, you were still in your cohort. I was telling the audience yesterday how the placement sort of is not something that happens towards the end of the program, but it starts somewhere in the middle. It's pretty much throughout a daily exercise where every time a new opportunity gets presented, you might have a chance to jump in and present your resume if you're doing really well, right? So Prashant was one of the top performers in his cohort, and as a result, the moment a good company reached out, even though I think you were like in month 3 or month 4.
Yeah,
or something
it was
at that time.
very
It was very early. It was very early, like less than 50% in or something. Still, we pushed out.
We didn't even complete our 2D project. It was that
correct. It was very early. So we still were confident that okay, let's get the experience in, and it will set up the right momentum for the rest of the 3-4 months for preparation as well, right? So so I think we try to do those kind of innovative hacks based on what the candidates are, especially the ones that are performing really, really well. We try to push them hard so that they are set up for the right kind of success as well. But yeah, overall, so what was your approach? And before I ask the next question, guys, if you have any specific question as well, just please put them in the chat. Abhishek and I will try to curate them and throw at Prashant as well and try to pick his brain. So please just start throwing your questions in the chat as well. It could be anything, right? Technical. Today you can go deep technical because Prashant is a proper techie, right? Especially somebody who started with a non-gaming background in tech and then transitioned into tech, because I'm sure a lot of you have that kind of relatable experience as well. So now you're working with the game studio professionally as well. I think you just got started. So
yeah, it's been like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, right? So how's the overall vibe? Is it different? Are you feeling anything different?
Yeah, I mean, it's much less corporate if that's a word. But the people are amazing. The company is amazing, and you won't believe this. In today's daily stand-up call, I just saw a guy vape. I'm not even kidding. So yeah, the people are amazing. The project that I'm working on, I've just been assigned, is also amazing. So my company is mostly into AR and VR simulations. So they kind of the project that I'm on kind of helps doctors to get in like a proper cardiac arrest training. So in what would you do in that case? So doctors are made to put VR headsets on, then they can just perform on that in that game basically.
Yeah. So I think this, I'll add, I know there are a bunch of questions already coming in, but I'll add one more question to myself and then I'll start taking up questions from the chat. Majority people always ask me, right, like, Mayank, why are you not including any AR, VR stuff in the program itself, right? Like, why are you just covering the Unity and C# and C++, etc. Add in AR, VR, right? Because a lot of people are like fascinated by, oh, let's do AR, VR, right? So I never taught you anything AR, VR. There was nothing in the curriculum that taught you AR, VR, but yet here you are in your first job after the program and you're working on AR, VR. Right? How the hell did this happen? Right? Or do you think we should add in like as a feedback as well to me?
No. I mean, of course, if you want to, then sure. But as I said, like the game companies don't generally look for a particular specification. They look for your base knowledge, your how good you are in your basics. So once that is cleared, then depending on whatever the project is, you can get into. So AR VR is like a module for in a game development, right? So if you know how to make a game, AR VR, you can add on top of that however you want, right?
Yeah. Oh, I think Prashant is stuck. You guys are able to hear me, right? Okay. Maybe the issue on Prashant's side. Okay, good. So I think what Prashant was saying, and this is something that I iterate on a lot as well. Oh, Prashant, you back?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my internet fluctuated. Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, so like AR VR is just very specific. You just need to focus on your basic fundamentals first. And I don't know, Mayank might have already said this like 5 or 6 times before. So it'll just be redundant coming from my mouth. But yeah, basic fundamentals are the most important thing you can prepare in for an interview.
Yeah, and I think all your fundamentals such as data structures, algorithms, object-oriented programming, like Unity's basics as well, right? Like how does a coroutine work and things like that. So for all those people who are new, don't worry, don't get scared by these terms. You don't need to know them today itself. But I'm just saying that a lot of these fundamentals are very essential when you're trying to break in, like Prashant was trying to explain.
I had no idea what a coroutine is when I first joined.
yeah. So I think majority people who are coming from even game development background also don't understand that concept just because it makes everybody's head spin. Right? So but cool. So okay, so now I'm gonna jump in and start taking up some question. Oh, Prashant, you didn't mention the name of your company.
Oh, I am working for AI Solve. I'll put it in the chat if you want.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. There are some questions here. Okay, so I think somebody's asked how was the professional experience in game dev. I think you already answered that briefly. And let me see. Is crunch mandatory in game development?
I'm fairly new to answer that question.
Yeah, no, I think I can answer that. But I think it's not about just game development. Crunch is something that, so for everybody who
In
does
general,
not,
software development, yeah.
correct. I think for everybody who does not understand what crunch might mean, crunch just means that everybody is working way too hard and way too long, 7 days a week, 18-hour days, just to make sure that they're able to publish the game and make it live. So I don't think it's a game industry thing anymore. It's more of a cultural thing. So you can go in a company that is building software for the clients, and there is heavy crunch. They are pressurizing you to work 18, 19 hours, 20 hours, and then you don't enjoy doing those 18, 20 hours, right? Then it feels like crunch and etc. So I think it's a very outdated thing compared to the game industry. Like earlier, EA and all used to have this bad reputation regarding crunch,
Yeah.
but now because of the macro trend that's changing and games development cycle reducing because everything is about fast iteration, I don't think crunch is relevant anymore. Ella is asking what's used more, C++ or C Sharp? Any thoughts?
I mean, it's very subjective, right? Depending on what kind of engine your company uses. For now, like since you're working on Unity, just try to focus on your logic building and problem solving skills. You can learn any language; it doesn't matter. Learning a language is not that difficult.
Yep. 100% agree. I think every company will use different elements. So, depending on what game they might be working on. Ubisoft India recently started hiring for Unity developers, even though they have their own proprietary technology that relies on C++. So now within even a big company, you can have multiple teams that are working on different technologies. It just depends on what you are. People get somehow stuck up on like, yeah, I know this
Yeah.
one language, I know this other language, what will happen? They don't realize that skills transfer over, right? Like, have you seen that kind of effect, at least personally for yourself, like skill that you learned in C++?
Yeah, definitely. So it's not just C++. So when I was in college, right, I only knew Java because C and C and C++ didn't go through my brain at all. So like we in engineering generally you have three languages, right? C, C++, and Java. So Java was like my go-to language. But eventually, like when I got into other, like my previous company, they were also like I started using different. I even worked on Golang in that company. There was Java, there was Camel, etc. So it's just your logic building skills. This code, what language you build in does not matter at all. A for loop is going to be a for loop in any language. It doesn't matter what language you are using. The working is not going to change.
Yep. I think the logic building, like Prashant was saying, is way more important, and understanding how to build that logic is more important than the actual language. Language is something that you can always learn very fast if you have strong
You need
logic.
to worry
Right?
about that after you are good at problem solving.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think problem solving is just something that comes with practice.
Yep.
People get scared of this data structure topic. I think you also had a weak hold of data structures when you came in. I'm not sure if you had
So it
asked
wasn't
me
a
something
hold,
regarding data
but
structures.
I was lagging behind the submissions, I think. Because like I was very bad at trees. Even in my college, I skipped trees completely because. But yeah, eventually, like you just have to get through it. There's no other way around. There's no shortcut. Consistency is key, guys.
Yep, absolutely, 100% agree. I think it's just about practice.
Yes.
Yeah, I think something I was repeating this exactly the same thing yesterday, right? If there is a fucker sitting in some corner of the world who's practicing double hard as you are, right? That person is going to beat your ass to the ground no matter what.
Definitely.
So at the end of the day, if you take any sport, right, even cricket or etc., these sports people have to practice like batshit crazy every day, right? So, and the same goes for coding as well. I don't know why people are not able to understand that sometimes, that it's just about practice, and eventually you will get better. Okay, let me see. What about XR? What's more used of the two? Asking about augmented reality. What is more used, C++ or C Sharp?
So the the project that I'm working on, like my company is also planning to switch to C++, but most of the code base that we currently have now is in C#. So it's not like very urgent as of now, but they are like in the plans of moving to C++. I'm not sure why. I'm yet to ask that, but yeah. So, but it doesn't matter, right? It's just the same thing again. Like they just feel like they just like partnered up with, I think, Unreal or something. That's why they're switching to C++. But the main program was built in C Sharp only, in Unity.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's just, especially when you talk about business, right? Like from a business perspective, it's more about what can get the job done faster.
Done, right? Yeah.
Right. Half of the time, it's not even about what Unity can do and what Unreal can do. It's like if you have a team of 5 developers who are well trained in Unity, even if Unity might be a poor choice compared to Unreal, you'll go with Unity because you have a team who can really, build something and make it production ready and really polished in Unity.
But training them is also going to take time from now.
Exactly. So majority of people don't realize that business level decisions don't get made because of, hey, is Unity better than Unreal on this feature? It's usually on a lot of other aspects apart from these kind of technical specifications, right?
Yeah.
So that's a very different mindset to think about. Anand is asking, do professional game developers from EA, Ubisoft, Gameloft, etc. also use Google to find solutions?
Everyone uses Google to find solutions. That's what I'm sure even Mayank uses Google to find
hell yes, every time, right? Like I don't remember 90% of the shit, right? But it's all
that's the thing, right? You can use Google to learn any kind of language. You cannot use Google to learn problem solving. That comes from here.
Correct, exactly. No, I think that's spot on, right? So very precise. But it's not just Google or Microsoft or Gameloft or etc. Right? Like everybody, right? Like everybody uses Google, and there's no shame in Google. Googling is actually an art. You should be proficient at Googling shit so that you solve your problems faster, right? That's the whole point. Nobody says that you get extra bonus points or you get an extra salary because you did use Google and you took 2 times the more amount of time that was needed, right? So you don't get extra salary or bonus salary for that. So just use whatever you can, get the fucking job done. That's all that matters, right? But yeah,
it's not your college, guys. No one's gonna decrease your marks because you're using Google.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so let me see. There's a very big question from Minal. How game development is dependent on game engine and game hardware? If depends on game hardware, what should stop mistakes like Cyberpunk 2077? 100%. Okay, too long a question. But how is the game development process? I'm just going to summarize. How is the game development process related to game engines and gaming hardware? Like, what's the correlation between these things?
I think if you're talking about like Cyberpunk and all, those are pretty like AAA games. They're a pretty heavy size games, right? So I mean, it's gonna take no offense to anyone, but it's gonna take time before anyone gets there. Anyone from us, even me, that we get to work on a big game that size. But yeah, I think the main idea to go about, like the main solution that I think to this question is just your clean code. I think just try to keep your code as clean as possible.
Yep, 100%. I think majority of people don't know what clean code is.
Yeah.
Do you mind a little bit explaining what exactly do you mean by clean code?
So like you just I don't know how to explain it, but clean code is basically there's no memory loss. Like you are using your variables, your memory management is proper, very exactly how much space you need. You're not wasting any memory. You're not wasting any processing time using multiple loops for things that can be done with a ternary operator or any smaller operation. That kind of thing, basically.
Yeah, I think a summarized way of the way I like to explain what clean code is like. If your code looks simple to read and does the job, that's clean code. Right?
Yeah.
if there are unnecessary variables and loop after loop and function after function and some random names thrown in here, more or less you have fucked up something. Right, like my spider sense pingles and tells me that something is fucked up somewhere, right? Like you didn't understand the problem, because 99% of the problems have a very simple solution, right? Sometimes we just overcomplicate the solution, and it's actually a very simple solution. If you can really think simple, then your code will also be, it will look clean, it will read like a story, right? Like people will be like, how the fuck code reads like a story? But it actually does when you really start to write clean code, small modular code. We'll talk about these things all in full details later, so don't worry about it as of now. But it's a very important term that every developer who wants to become good at it should be familiar with what clean code is. Okay. Bhaskar is asking, can we copy code from Stack Overflow? Like
Not for your assignments, but sure. When you get into a company, sure.
Yeah, but do understand what the fuck are you copying?
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Don't just blindly copy as well, because then you'll be in trouble. Something is gonna blow up in your face. I think today the questions are just on fire. A lot of weird copy paste Google questions. Let me see. How to implement AI when the scenario is how to implement AI when the scenario, if it is not available in inbuilt frameworks or SDKs. Okay, I'm just gonna broadly say how to implement AI.
Okay. I mean, there's definitely a module for you in your 3D game where you're supposed to be, you're going to be working on AI state. You're going to be using state machines in that. So maybe just wait for that.
Yep. So don't worry about it, guys. We in one of the projects, under the Unity Advanced section, you will get the chance.
The mentors are amazing. Don't worry.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. I think there are way too many questions. Abhishek is helping me shortlist some of these. But yeah, just tell me a little bit about like any good things or bad things about your overall experience working with your cohort, generally with the Outscale community in general, etc.
So the best thing about Outscale that I found, I mean, I didn't expect I was gonna like this thing about, because to be honest, I'm like a very introverted person. But the fact that there are people from multiple and different states that all over India have been coming through Outscale. Even in my own clan, there were people from like maybe 5 different states already. So you got to know them. You got to see the similarities between them, and then you can see so there wasn't any need of anonymity between people. So because you could just talk to people and get your any question solved, any query solved. So that was the one best thing, because I think the very good friend of mine now that I have is from my clan as well. Yeah,
Wait,
Milan.
who's that? Oh,
Milan.
Milan. Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, every time I know I don't join Clan Labs that frequently, but every time I join Clan Labs, we always talk like for at least an hour after the Clan Labs. So like just get an update on what each one of us is doing. We have also had plans for like making games together.
Yeah. No, I think this is a very common story, because I'm hearing this a lot from folks that people have formed sort of long-term relationships that are transcending their own clan itself, right? The clan has finished long back, but people are still heavily in touch with the folks that were with them in the clan. They sometimes have a common WhatsApp group where they're discussing ideas and sharing things. So I think that's great to hear. I didn't know about like you guys also had something working in the cooks, like let's make a game together in our spare time. So that's really good.
I mean, we just daydream for now, but eventually we'll get there.
Yeah. Like life kicks in, right? Like no time for side projects, so totally understand.
But yeah, guys, the main part is just keep on talking to people. That's gonna help you a lot. In like 2 people thinking up over a problem can create 2 very different solution, and you can just compare. That's what we did. That's what me, Milan and I did.
Yeah. Any Any worst part about your overall experience, or something that you think you would have want to improve?
I mean, there wasn't a worst part as per in the course, but yeah, one thing I found amiss was the need for urgency. Like there wasn't any pressurizing. There wasn't any pressure for on us. Like you have to complete this. You just given a due date, but then everyone like many people passed the due date, and there's
Yeah.
none. Like maybe just if there was a repercussion for missing a due
Yep.
date, maybe
Now
that would
there
have
is.
helped. That's all. Now
Now
there
there
is.
is.
Okay.
Now there is.
Nice.
So
That's
now
nice.
we have, after your cohort, we have implemented a full-on XP system, and for even missing one actual call, you lose XP, and if the submission is late by even like 1 hour, you lose XP on the submission. So there
Yeah.
are different types of XP that you get during the program,
Mhm.
and people who are going through the 7-day masterclass experience also are going to get XP.
Right.
So everything is now based on XP. So if your XP falls below and you don't get the right XP on the projects in
Mhm.
terms of submissions and completions, you're fucked. Simple as that.
Nice.
Then
That's nice.
no
Because
placement
then
support.
that brings in the
Yep.
consistency, right? So
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
amazing.
Yeah. Actually, by the way, you might not know, but one of the feedback that you had shared, the whole weekend project, game projects
Mhm.
experiment started
Mhm.
from there, and now it has turned into a full-fledged feature in the entire program. So for all the audience, if you guys get to experience the full program, what you will refer to as MAT, or module assessment test, where you'll be building full-fledged mini game projects. That was actually a feedback that Prashant had shared, or a concern Prashant had shared earlier in his class and his cohort. And when internally we were brainstorming on how to fix that problem, we implemented this thing, what is now called as MAT, module assessment test, in which people spend 12 hours really fast paced building a full-fledged game, right? So I think, Prashant, if you remember, you guys did
Yeah,
the
yeah, I remember this.
Clash Royale assignment, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now that Clash Royale assignment was just one assignment, and it has now turned into 6 mini projects. So all those bits and pieces are eventually getting flushed out. So that's why I keep nagging about, guys, give us feedback,
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 yeah.
feedback, feedback. This is something that I know that's the only way that we are going to improve. So all of these details, guys, don't worry, you'll get to explore. But I'm just wanted to highlight that Prashant is a live example that his feedback impacted the project in a way where now the projects that you'll make, there are 6 more projects at the end of the program, and you can probably even thank Prashant for adding 1 more month. Now the
You're
program is
welcome,
7 months.
guys.
7 months long instead of 6 months. So, right, perfect. So, any sort of closing thoughts that you want to share, in terms of how folks should prepare, what they should do as they're thinking about entering into this industry?
Yeah, so I think I know most of you have like most of you are college students. There are some of them who are even like in working for in some company. Just you have to prioritize stuff and make time for what you want to do, what you think is important. That's all.
Yep. I think there's one question I missed. My bad. I'll just still quickly ask.
Sure.
Was there something that you did in your spare time to learn and grow apart from all the things that you are doing as part of Outscale itself?
Yeah, I mean, I try to get my foot into different kind of games. So the games that I made with Outscale were the 2D platformer and a 3D battle tank. But then I thought, I've always been fascinated by different type of games, mostly third person kind of games, So I just kept on like sometimes when I could make some time. I worked on my own kind of projects, so that also helped a lot. And then just keep on posting on LinkedIn whatever you work on. Doesn't matter if it's
Yeah.
a small project, a big project. If you do
Yep.
that, companies are bound to get reach to you.
Yep. Yep. And actually, I got to know yesterday night, that 2 people from Game Clan 11 and 12 got placed as well, and they haven't yet finished
Of
uh,
course.
2 of their modules. Um, just because they were putting out their updates on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
right? So it's such a powerful thing that people just
LinkedIn
don't
is very
realize.
powerful. Every time that I posted any update, I got like 6-7 DMs on LinkedIn. Like, are you looking for a job? Are you looking for a job?
Yep. I think the majority of people don't realize the power of correctly using LinkedIn. So even like last night, like Clan 11 and 12, we haven't yet officially started pushing their resumes out to companies because they haven't yet finished all their projects. Two of them already have full-time job offers, and I'm like, all right, great. Go ahead, join it if you're happy with the company. But yeah, try to complete the projects because it will help you in the long run. So
Yeah.
majority of people just feel like this is a weird thing. Why are we asking people to update on LinkedIn? But it's a monster.
It's
If you
not
do
that
it
weird,
right.
guys. That's what I thought of for the first time. That why are there LinkedIn assignments between my Unity development? I don't understand this.
Yep,
Eventually,
yep.
I did.
Yeah. Now you see the benefit of it, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
it's always hindsight, what do you call it, 2020 or whatever, right? All right, perfect. So awesome, Prashant. Before I let you go, though, I think what we'll do is we'll do a small, quick, fun exercise. So, Aman, if you can open up the camera access to everybody, guys. What I'll request you to do is quickly open your cameras.
Everyone can do it now. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So if you guys can quickly pop open your cameras, we'll do a short fun exercise. Mrinal will not do the camera hiding one this time. Don't worry. So yeah, I think you remember the yesterday's one, but this time it's going to be slightly new. So please switch over to the gallery view so that you guys can see each other, and hopefully you see a lot of different faces. What I want you to do is now grab a piece of pen and paper, whatever is right next to you, pencil, pen, anything, right? Newspaper, whatever, on whatever you can draw something, or sketch, etc. Okay, so just quickly grab that. And what next I want you to do is pick a random person. Try not to pick me as well, because I'm just talking and my face keeps moving here and there. So pick a random person whose face you hopefully like or don't like. I don't care. So it doesn't matter. But pick a random face, hover over their image, and you'll see the 3 zoom dots, and click on pin. Okay. So basically, all you're doing is picking somebody's face and pinning them on your screen, so their face is big on your screen, like front and center, right? You see them. So you hover over their thumbnail and you click on the 3 blue dots, and now you can see their face. Okay, everyone good? Don't pick mine. Okay, camera does not work. Yeah, obviously pick somebody whose camera is working. Perfect. So just give me a thumbs up if you guys have picked somebody already. Just drop in a thumbs up using the reactions.
Abhishek, you're working for Outscal now. How does your camera still not work?
He gets a beating from me every time. Some driver issue. All right, perfect. So just give me a quick thumbs up, guys, if you've already picked somebody whose camera is working.
Oh, thumbs up here.
All right, thumbs up. All right, perfect. So now what I want you guys to do, here's the exercise, and here's the fun part, right? I want you to stare at your screen. You have to just look at your screen and nothing else. Okay? You have to use your pen or pencil, whatever you have, to draw this person's face on the piece of paper without looking at the paper.
You mean
all right,
without looking at the paper?
Okay. Without looking at the paper. So you have to look straight onto the screen and not look at the paper, but you have to draw this person's face as to whatever you can. Okay, doesn't matter. No cheating. There's no extra marks for this. This is not counted in XP. Don't worry. This is just a fun exercise. So whoever you're looking at, try to draw their face without looking at the paper. All right. Hopefully the assignment is clear. It will take you less than 15 seconds. You do not have to paint a Mona Lisa. Don't worry. It will look as shitty. It's okay. All right. So on the count of 3, when I say 1, 2, 3, go, that's when you start drawing. But remember, somebody is looking at your face. So if you look down, they will know that you're cheating.
Just call them out.
Yeah. So please don't cheat. But okay, 1, 2, 3, start drawing. You have 15 seconds. Don't look down. do whatever you can and just draw. Let your inner creativity flow. Okay, make it look ugly as hell. It's okay. If they're wearing headphones,
Dude, I don't know what I'm doing.
it's all right. Okay, 5 more seconds. And done. All right. So pencils, pens down. Switch over to the gallery view. And what I want you to do is just hold your piece of paper and bring it as okay, my background is glitchy, but bring it as close as possible to the camera. Okay. I want to see who gets the ugliest photo award. Who gets the ugliest photo award? Okay. Everybody has like virtual background.
Shaunak gets the ugliest one actually.
Shaunak gets the ugliest one. All right. I think it's hard to see here. What I'll do is today, anyways, our first exercise will be jumping. Everybody jumps into Discord. So I'll ask everybody to share a photo of their marvelous drawings, and I'll probably grant somebody 100 Bitcoins if I like their photo. Okay. I don't have 100 Bitcoins. Sorry. All right. Perfect, guys. Fernando wins a medal for good drawing.
Definitely.
No. There's no good
Yeah.
drawing. No. There's no medal for good drawing. We only give medals for shitty drawings. All right. Perfect, guys. Fernando is unhappy. It's okay. We'll give you Fernando a consolation prize. All right. A special reward in Discord. Okay. Awesome, guys. So thanks for participating. Thanks, Prashant, for participating as well.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, perfect. So, Prashant, I'll let you go and respect your time as well.
Sure.
So take care. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys. Take care.
All right, perfect. So let's jump back in and okay, give me 1 second. Okay, cool. So Malar, are you there?
Yes.
All right, perfect, guys. So Malar will be taking over from me. I think we can do a pin. Okay, Aman, can you just pin Malar as well? Okay, cool.
Guys, if you all can quickly just switch off your videos, we can move ahead from there. Yeah, thank you, guys.